Welcome back to Devlog with Jake. As usual, I am Jake, and today we're going to go over my recent Brackeys Game Jam submission. So let's get into it. And of course I invite you to like and subscribe, it does help the channel immensely. What do you think of when you hear You're Not Alone? That was the theme for this Brackeys Game Jam. For me, I thought of the horror genre, and I've never done a horror game, so I thought this would be a great chance to stretch myself and grow. So, what direction to take? In this game jam, I went with my very first conceived idea. A singular person on a lake at night. They hear noises all around them, and they hear splashing that grows nearer, and that sort of thing. This idea comes from a real-life experience I had when fishing one night in kayaks with my brother-in-law and my father-in-law. Something was making very weird sounds, breaking what sounded like thick tree trunks and throwing stones in the water that made the deep thump sound that only large objects do. All of this happened right around midnight, and it was super dark out. So obviously we fairly nonchalantly made our best exit. You know, we couldn't admit to each other just how scared we were. But this turned out to be inspiration for this game. The pillars for this game, as I see it, are great audio, a moody atmosphere, vulnerable character, and a chance for survival. Before we get into the nitty-gritty for this jam though, I had to make sure I was prepared for it. You may remember my Wowie jam prep. Alright, jam essentials, here we go. Laptop check, headphones check, coffee. Oh, more coffee. Wow, lots of coffee. I have a problem. Gummy Bites because they taste so good. Adult Bites, my wife says they're good for you. And glucosamine because I'm old. This time I decided to stick to the essentials. Mostly Java, so cheers. Alright, back to the good stuff. So here's how it went. I found a great boat asset, and I will share all the links to assets in the description. Thanks in particular to this artist. All of these assets were free on the Unity store, so check them out. Then I found this really rad water shader, as can be seen here. It came with like 4 different waters and settings for wave size, direction, and speed. It's a really amazing free asset. I found a free character too, but I wish I would have got one from Mixamo. Some of the textures were flickering, and I could have gotten a better model if I would have considered this earlier. But I am grateful to the artist that made this model free on the Unity asset store, so thank you. I began piecing all of these assets and more together, and I'll say I had a lot of fun making the camera setup. I knew that during rowing, I wanted to limit the range of view, so the player would need to depend on their ears more than their eyes to let them know the situation. This camera is mounted right on the model's face, so the player sees their arms and hands rowing the boat, and that's about it. And as it turns out, this was a brilliant idea, because some of the animations came from Mixamo and they turned out really clean, but the rowing one I had to do by hand, and it was pretty glitchy. So I'm going to show you some of the animations that turned out well, and some of them that were... it was good that they were hidden, we'll just say that. The second camera is mounted at standing height and represents the end of the player's arm where a flashlight is revealed. I mounted the camera on the outside of a cylinder such that when the player turns to look around it, it's as though the person is rotating with their arm extended rather than spinning exactly on the location. I did this to increase the feeling of being the person shining the light into the darkness, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Over the next couple of dev sessions, the game began to take shape. The boat began to move when rowing. The light from the flashlight didn't look so... terrible? Actually, it looks pretty convincing in its final form. Then I began to plug in sounds, and the atmosphere really came together. Here's a quick glance of how the Trello board updated throughout the week.
So beautiful out here. I think we'll take it out. Oh wow, how long was I asleep? It's so dark. What was that sound? I need to get to the dock. Hello? Somebody out there?
Alright, so let's see if we checked off all 4 pillars. Great audio? I think we met that. Moody atmosphere? Oh, it's moody, alright. Vulnerable character? I mean, it's a girl all alone at night on a boat? Yeah, I think so. And a chance for survival. Well, you'll have to play the game to find out about that. I very much enjoyed Brackeys Game Jam. I'm already looking forward to the next. As for this project, I am pleased with it. It's getting my official stamp of approval. I encourage you to give it a try using the link in the description. No download needed. It runs in your browser. Since you made it this far, I offer you my sincere gratitude and ask that if you haven't already, sneak over to the like button's house and gently karate chop it in the throat as it naps. That's all for now. I'll have another video out in a week or so. Take care until next time.